Giving life to tea. The importance of water in the art of brewing. Water, life-giving and sustaining, is the essential third party to our relationship with tea. Considering the effect tea has on our psychological well-being, in addition to our physical health, the sense of completeness we feel at the end of each sip, there must be, without a doubt, something in the water that makes this outcome occur. Therefore, in order to understand and interpret the impact water has on our tea drinking experience, it is vital that we first perceive both the symbolic and absolute value water holds to life on Earth, beyond the base needs it fulfills as an element. Let us start with the symbolic status of water. As a metaphor, water holds a privileged place in our subconscious. Frequent assignations identify it as a creating force, a giver of life and life itself, and even a spiritual guide. But what significance does all of this have to do with a cup of tea? We mentioned at the start that tea does much in the way of positively contributing to our state of mind. And as much as this effect stems from the tea itself, the water that is used to brew the tea also plays a significant role in diffusing all of that goodness throughout the cup. It is this ability of water to be a neutral conductor in transporting foreign elements through it for greater impact that has earned it such reverence across cultures, religions, and philosophical thought. And then you have water, the scientific element and chemist of life, and tea. Tea tastes and smells are very subtle, and so it is important that it is brewed with high-quality tea that doesn't give out a taste or smell of its own. But the essence of high quality cannot be so easily outlined. We would like to point out 4 key determinants that help us define water in a condition that is optimal for tea brewing. Clarity. Water for drinking, let alone drinking tea, must ideally always be clear, as pure and clean water shouldn't look anything else. Where tea is concerned, if the water used to brew it is cloudy, the resulting cup will be similar in appearance. And it is rather difficult to enjoy a cloudy tea because part of tasting food and drink is the visual perception a meal or beverage creates. The tasting process starts out as soon as we look at what we intend to put in our mouths. Also, as pointed out, clear water means that it should generally be safe for drinking. Odor. Smell is vitally important to how we taste and experience tea. It is our sense of smell that allows us to identify those earthy and floral notes in certain teas. Therefore, in order for the drinker to catch on to those nuances, it is essential that the water used for brewing is absolutely odorless. Aeration, or crispiness, is the concentration of dissolved oxygen molecules in water. When the concentration is high, we say that the water is crisp, and when it is low, the water is termed as dull. Naturally, a crisp textured tea is much preferred to a relatively dull brew. But of course, this would all depend on the geography you live in and the kind of water you have access to. So although there is some importance in water aeration when it comes to brewing tea, don't overthink it. Mineral content. In addition to dissolved oxygen, water also contains concentrations of soluble solids, minerals, such as calcium and magnesium sulfates. Keep in mind here, we do not want the level of concentrated solids in water to be too high or too low. If the concentration is too high, you're left with an unpleasant soda powder taste. Too low and the water feels flat and without depth. Water with moderate amount of such soluble solids is recommended for brewing, as anything else would just spoil the taste of your tea. As you can see, there is more to water than meets the eye, especially where tea is concerned. And there is no substitute that would achieve the transformative results that are so uniquely delivered with water to the whole tea drinking experience. Quite simply, without water, there can be no tea, which is a truth that can pretty much be applied to all life in fact. If you found this video to be informative, subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media. There is more to be said on the subject of tea, and we're just getting started.